tell us what we're seeing right behind your shoulder, Mike.
So it's 10 a.m., which means we just opened doors. So this stream of people has been waiting here, some as late as 9 p.m. last night, so they could get in because there's something beyond those doors that they really want to see.
And why do they want to see it so much?
Either they want to play a game, or they want to get in line for a panel, or they want to buy something. There's any number of reasons why somebody wants to be in those doors early.
And shall we go and join them?
Let's do it.
Okay, Mike Armstrong is the executive director here. Behind the camera is Fred Mason. And we're going to go on a tour of Comic-Con here on all the live platforms of ABC7. And this is the scene for the comic book fan, for the anime fan, Mike Armstrong. This is quite a shot.
Yeah, this is the first thing they're going to see when they walk in the door. So if you take a look, we've got a huge Dragon Ball experience. Square Enix has Kingdom Hearts 3, which is coming out, which everybody wants to play. So as you can see, we've only been open for about 10 minutes, but there's already lines forming because they want to buy something, they want to play something, or they want to do something.
Now, the games, have they become a bigger component of Comic-Con through the years?
Yeah, through the years. I think over the last maybe 5 or 6 years, we've started to see people like Ubisoft, Capcom, Square Enix obviously has a big presence here. So yeah, this is the first opportunity for some people to play the game that they've been waiting to come out for 6 months or so. So there's a lot of things to experience once you get in the doors.
Okay, say you weren't running the place and instead were just a fan. Where would you head first, Mike?
I want to go to the Marvel booth. I want to go to the Dark Horse Comics booth. I want to go to the Image Comics booth. So I'm a comics guy. I want to get in here. I want to buy some of the variants that they've got for sale. I want to see some of the creators that are doing signings. I just want to have fun.
The variants they have for sale. Do tell me what that is.
So essentially they're different covers of comics that are out. They tend to be more rare. They tend to be more valuable. So you're going to see books for sale in our own show store, which we have downstairs on the North Concourse. We've got a Frank Miller Dark Knight variant that's going for $40. Once that thing hits eBay, it's probably upwards of 100.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what about these figurines here?
These are awesome photo ops. These are bigger than normal sizes of things that they can buy.
So I stand in here, right? I stand, is this the idea?
Take a picture, there you go. You're living the experience.
I look a little geeky maybe? That's okay.
There's not that many people in a tie.
All right.
Unless it's Doctor Who cosplay.
There's not that many people in a tie.
Right.
That's the operative quote so far.
Exactly.
Here's Dark Horse Hellboy. Tell me what we're looking at.
So Hellboy 2, the new movie starring David Harbour, comes out I think in April. So I believe they're going to have a cast signing here soon. They've got exclusive Dark Horse comics. They've got exclusive figures. They're giving out bags. And people are signing up to get in line for signings from some of their favorite creators.
And people are already pointing at people that I might not even recognize, but they sure do. You're famous here. I understand there's a term, nerd-lebrity? What's a nerd-lebrity?
That's somebody who's famous in certain circles, and I don't put myself into that category. But there are people who create something that people love, and you might not know their names, but those people certainly do. So that's what they want to line up and meet them for.
That's great, and the bags are a key part of it too.
People love swag, man. There's a lot of these booths are giving away free stuff, and people are lining up to get it because they want to take it home.
But I understand to get the free swag, you got to come early because they run out.
Yeah, like I said, there were people waiting in line last night starting at 9 p.m. When I was leaving the building, done with my workday, there were people sitting in chairs outside waiting for the morning, and we started letting people into the building at 8, in the doors at 10, so it's been a long night for a lot of people.
Normally, I repeatedly, when I'm doing Facebook Live, identify where I am, but there's no mistaking. I'm at New York Comic-Con with the guy that runs it. Let's head to the Marvel booth,
Let's do it.
shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Mike, tell us, each of these major comic companies, and Marvel is owned by the same parent company as wabc-tv, that would be Disney, but Marvel is just among many companies here, each have a big presentation, don't they?
Yeah, we have about 900 exhibitors on the show floor, and downstairs in Artist Alley, we've got about 500 artists who are signing and sketching all throughout the course of the weekend. So there is a lot of there are a lot of names that people know. There are a lot of names that are big in the space that they might not know, but definitely Marvel for one. They've got a huge presence. They've got a show store with some exclusive merchandise, comics, pins, T-shirts that you can only get here at New York Comic Con.
And where's that? That would be downstairs?
No,
or
that's right.
separate?
That's right here. We're there.
Okay, look at this.
And you can see the lines already formed, and people are checking out and buying the pins that they've seen online that they know they want to buy today.
Now tell us how this works. A company like Marvel will go and get a certain pin that's only available here, as you just said,
Yep.
and sell it for a special price, or?
They'll do about 20 different pins. So there's a sheet over there that details all the different pins that are for sale, but they'll produce specifically for New York Comic Con 20 different pins that you can only get at New York Comic Con.
Okay, great. And we'll show that the merchandise card right here. These are the pin packs. What are we looking at?
That's exactly it. So these are the pin packs that are available only for sale here at New York Comic Con. There are fans lined up. Obviously, there's a big line wrapped around this booth right now of people who want those pins.
That's great. Pokemon. Still a fixture.
Still. And anime has become such a more important part of the industry. I mean, we're running a separately ticketed anime event up at Pier 94 this weekend as well. But you've got companies like Viz, Funimation, Crunchyroll. You've got all sorts of different companies that are putting out incredible content, and they're wanting to expose their content to a broader audience. So that's why they come to New York Comic Con.
There are going to be a few who will say, "I've heard that term anime."
Yeah.
How would you define it, Mike?
Japanese animation. I think you've got the companies in Japan who are putting out the content, and then you've got the companies in the US who are dubbing that content. But there's anime, there's manga, which is the printed stuff. So there is a ton of great stuff here. Japanese content, specifically here at New York Comic Con, but also up the road at Anime Fest.
It's amazing how many people that we talked to this morning said they were here for the anime.
Yeah.
It's very big. We talked to a 6th grader. Is it big in that age group?
It is. And it's funny, I've been spending a lot of time with, one of the big important things for us is how we engage with librarians and educators. So last year I went to a local metropolitan I can't remember the name, but Metropolitan Library, and I was sitting with the librarian, and she takes me over to the graphic novel section and the anime section, and there's nothing there, and I was like, it really seems like you should have more, and she's like, no, you don't get it, it's all checked out. And my wife's a librarian, and all of the anime, all the graphic novels, always checked out, and you saw it, people coming in, returning, getting something new. It's just, this is what kids read, and we shouldn't be scared of them reading this kind of stuff.
Anime very big here, and let's talk a little bit as we stroll these aisles. You see some people in costume, some people are not in costume, but you see a very diverse portrait.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about the diversity in this industry.
Well, I think the diversity of New York Comic Con reflects the diversity of New York City. This show feels like New York City. There's other shows that we do. We do a show in Chicago, we do a show in Seattle, and those feel like the cities that we're in. I think New York is just an incredibly diverse city, and that fandom gets here. We make a big deal of making sure that all of the panels that we have downstairs in our panel hall are diverse. We make sure that everybody who wants to see something here can feel safe and know that they're with their fellow nerds.
A lot of people said that when they went to buy some of this merchandise, look at these very elaborate figures.
Yeah,
over
this is
here.
beautiful stuff.
One person told us that when, in the outside world, as she put it, they go to buy some of this merchandise, people look at them funny. Here they're among kindred spirits.
Yeah, that's what I like. I mean, you think about the people who work in an office building across the street, and they might not be able to tell all their coworkers that they're huge Doctor Who fans, but they come here dressed as the 12th Doctor, and they're with people who like the same exact thing as they do. That's what makes these shows so special. Dressed as the 12th Doctor. Now, this very elaborate,
you're right, Fred Mason, this very elaborate figure there.
$1,500.
$1,500.
Beautiful.
Character is?
Iron Man.
Iron Man, of course. And $1,500. Will that sell?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
People come to buy.
It'll sell, and then it'll be more valuable in a few years. We've got an exhibitor on the show floor who deals in vintage comics, and not recently, but he sold Action Comics #1, which is the most valuable book out there, $2.5 million.
$2.5 million. Who is in Action #1?
Superman.
And that was a creation of Bob Kane.
That was? Bob Kane. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. See?
You know your stuff.
I know a little of my stuff. Just enough to get by on Facebook Live.
Don't let the tie deceive anyone.
Now, give some hints. This is the calm before a very busy storm, isn't it, Mike? This is really good because we can walk here, and folks, I do have to tell you, if you're joining us now from New York Comic Con here, this is about as quiet as it gets,
Yeah.
right, Mike?
Yeah, so there's a lot of people still downstairs in the queue hall, people that were lining up early this morning or late last night, so not even everybody that's in the building yet has gotten to the show floor, but the show floor is one piece of the experience. A lot of people have rushed downstairs to Artist Alley because they want to get a commission from one of their favorite artists, or they want to get in line for a panel that they know early in the day is something they want to do, and then people are going off-site to Hammerstein Ballroom because there's an amazing lineup of content over at the Hammerstein Ballroom today.
Now, let's do a news you can use in this sense. If you want to come to Comic-Con, this is the man who runs Comic-Con. He's got about 1,000 people working for him. And we asked Mike tips for coming if you're coming on Saturday or the weekend.
Come with a plan. Know what you want to see and know what you'll do in order to see it. You don't want to have 10 things on your list and only be able to accomplish 2 of them. So make note of the things that you definitely need to see and make sure you dedicate enough time to being in that line.
And how early should they come?
I mean, a lot of people in that line were here 3 or 4 in the morning, so you don't have to be that crazy. Some people won lotteries, so they were able to get a guaranteed seat before the show started. But if you want to do something, you got to be prepared to stand in a couple lines. Bring snacks. Bring snacks.
Thank you for those tips. This looks a little more homegrown, this section, than the big corporate booths.
Yeah,
Talk to us about this
there's
section.
a section of our show floor that's dedicated to corporate booths, but then there's also all of this retail. I mean, people come to Comic-Con wanting to buy stuff. From my buddy Felix right here. They want to be able to buy stuff. They want to be able to see things that they can't find, on Amazon or they can't find at their local store. There's so much great stuff to be discovered on the show floor. Apparel. I mean, there's a ton of apparel. There's a ton of toys. There's a ton of books. You can spend hours roaming just the retail area and find something new.
And so this is the retail space?
Yeah.
These are individual entrepreneurs who are here selling stuff. Let's take, if we could, Fred, a look down. We are looking at no more than about half of just this floor
Right
now.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, you can probably see a quarter of the floor right now.
How many square feet under roof do we have in this building for Comic-Con?
That's a good number that I can't answer. I know the exhibitor number, like I said, we have 900 exhibitors on the show floor this year. Over 200,000 square feet of sold space. That doesn't count all of the stuff that we've got going on downstairs. This is just what we've got on the show floor. So it's big.
As we stroll Comic-Con, talk to us about Artist Alley. That's downstairs. Fred and I were down there earlier. It's quite involved to get down there, so we won't do it on the live broadcast, but if you tune in to Eyewitness News at 4 and 5, you'll be seeing the experience of an Artist Alley.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about
It's
it.
my favorite part of the show. So you've got about 550 artists who are sitting down there at tables, sketching, selling books, interacting with their fans. To a lot of the fans here, those people are the rock stars. They're the celebrities. So they want to go meet the person who drew their favorite issue of Batman, or they want to go meet the person who writes their favorite Image Comics book. So there's an awesome interaction that happens down there. There's a ton of ability to discover new artists and find new creators that you're going to like. It's my favorite part. It's so cool down there.
Long lines, though, to get, do you get autographs? Do you get, you said commissioned art. What did you
Yeah.
do?
So I could go up to an artist, I could go up to Ryan Brown, one of my favorite artists, and be like, Ryan, I want you to draw me a picture of Batman eating a pizza. And I'd come back 3 hours later and I'd have a sketch of Batman eating a pizza. Like, you can just tell them what you've got in mind and they'll draw it for you.
Hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands for that.
Hundreds.
Okay. And of course, I remember this from previous Comic-Con, automobiles. This
Yeah.
is a Chevy automobile. Why is this here, Mike?
Well, we've got a lot of great sponsors, and the sponsors know that this is a really attractive audience for them to target, so they'll do whatever they can to make it feel authentic. Like, this is wrapped in the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie that's coming out soon. They've got their own corporate sponsorship, so it's a way to advertise a Chevy, but advertise a Chevy that's tied to something that they also love.
Now, would a comic book fan be, I should say, crazy enough to drive around in there?
We drive it around. We have one at our office in Connecticut.
Do you really?
We do,
so
yeah.
I just called you crazy on live TV.
I've been called much worse, yeah.
That's great. So the Chevy. I'm going to take one last look around here. Any final thoughts as we get ready to say goodbye to the live audience?
This is fun, and everybody who comes here, we're going to have, like I said, nearly 250,000 people over interacting with us at some point over the weekend. And it means a lot to us to see the crowd running in the morning, to get high fives, see people that we've seen for so many years, because we do this because everybody here wants to have fun and we want to give them an experience.
How long have you been a comic book fan?
I've been a comic book fan for about 15 years. I've been doing this for about 9 years, so I've got the best job in the world.
And in that best job, was there a single moment that stands out for you?
I think the single moment that stands out for me was 2012, when, you know, we didn't have the crowd that we have now. Like you said, we've doubled in the number in 4 or 5 years. But being on the sidewalk outside, trying to get the crowd in, and the crowd didn't stop. And realizing that we needed bullhorns to get people in the door, you know, seeing people react positively to what we've put together means the world to us.
Thank you, Mike, so much.
Yeah.
Mike Armstrong is the director here, and we've been live to all of our platforms. We'll have much more, including Artist Alley that Mike spoke about, on Eyewitness News at noon, 4 and 5. So many aspects here. 3 more reports on television. But for now, I'm Sandy Kenyon with Mike Armstrong, the director, live from Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con 2018. Have a great day.